Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Mainly Outspoken. You're doing well out there. Today we're checking out a survival crafting game that is pirate and zombie themed. This one is called Ifsunsets. This was released late last year in 2024, and it's a really interesting concept. It's basically a pirate survival game with zombies. So if you're familiar with games like 7 Days to Die, Ark, Atlas, this is like those games basically combined and had a baby, more or less. So it's a game where you are stranded on an island and you need to harvest resources, build yourself a base, and then survive the night when the zombies show up. The game opens up, basically you're adrift on a little boat, and you're sailing towards an island, and all of a sudden the weather gets really bad, and basically you are stranded on this and you wash up on the beach. And in true survival game fashion, you basically start out with nothing. You have no tools, no weapons or anything. You have to craft everything. You do have a ferry that follows you around. I haven't quite figured out the full use of the ferry, but they're like your little companion that follows you around and can help you. So you basically wake up on the beach, and again, similar to other games like Ark, Atlas, you basically have to run around and gather all of your materials. You have to craft all of your tools and weapons, and eventually build yourself a base. And if you're familiar with games like Ark, the building style is very familiar. It seems very similar. There are lots of containers around the map that you can loot. Get different items. Sometimes it's just resources. Sometimes you will find pre-crafted items that are quite useful. So you'll, go around, gather resources. These piles that are on the ground that you can gather different materials from do regenerate. So those are very useful to use early on. You can basically come back to them and they'll have materials in them again. Your inventory is where you'll craft your basic tools. You'll have to, of course, have like a pickaxe, an axe, a spear, things like that to get yourself started. There are hammers that you use to do your building. There is a food and water element to this survival game, so you do have to cook food. You do have to gather water and sterilize it. Put basically your bottle of contaminated water in your cooking pot and boil it to decontaminate your water. There's a variety of different foods in the game. Again, eventually you'll have to build yourself a base. And the building style is very similar to other survival crafting games. There's different types of structures. You start off with the most basic, like a leaf-based structure, eventually building yourself up to even like gold structures, which is kind of neat. As you can see, the snap styles and things of building is very similar to other survival crafting games that you've probably played. There are wild animals in the environment that you have to fight and get resources from. There are some natural enclosures too that you can take advantage of. Like this one I'm building in was already on the map, this wood fence perimeter, so you can build within those and fortify them. There are different crafting tables that you have to use as well, in addition to just crafting out of your own inventory. So this one, for example, if you wanted to make like a door, you'd have to use the table. The biggest thing is you got to watch the time. As you can see, it's almost 7 o'clock. And that's when the zombies show up, and I didn't know this at first. So I was just out gathering materials, minding my own business. And as you can see here, when 7 o'clock comes, it says the night comes for you. And that's when all the zombies appear. And these aren't just zombies, these are like pirate zombies that have swords and weapons, and they are kind of terrifying. So as you can see, this was my first experience with the zombies. I was not prepared for it. I was out gathering resources far from my base, so I had to run all the way back. As you can see, they just keep spawning and keep coming. It's a very large horde of zombies that eventually comes after you here. I'll just let you watch what happens to me on my first go-around. Pretty comical. I mean, it's like almost like World War Z type of thing. They like climb on top of each other to get over the walls and everything. Your structures you can repair as they're being damaged, so these walls, these are very crude, basic walls that were already on the island, but you can build up, you know, much stronger structures, and you can repair them as these zombies are attacking. There is a multiplayer aspect of this game as well. I have not played it yet with the multiplayer, but you can play with friends, so you can try to survive together. As of right now, I don't think there's any dedicated servers. It's just basically one person has to host, and your friends can join. But as you can see, these zombies, they even climb right through the windows, everything. Pretty crazy. I didn't do so well my first time. I was not prepared for this. I figured maybe there's like, you know, 10, 20 zombies that show up, but it was like hundreds. And this was only night 1. So basically the night goes from 7 o'clock at night, I believe, until 7 in the morning. But the time goes by much faster at night. You notice the clock ticking up at the top, it's like faster than 1 second per minute. So the time goes by much faster at night than it does during the day. Eventually they breached my base. And I failed. Luckily, if you die, the game does auto-save, like basically at the start of night and day. So that I was able to go back and finish it. Night 2, I was much more prepared. I had actually built up some defenses on the outside of the base. I put down like some spike traps and things like that. And I had some better weapons too. Night 2, the defenses actually helped my spike traps it was like 793 zombies that got killed. They did break a few of my structures before the night was over. Once you survive, you get rewards. And that's sort of the premise of the game. There's a big map to explore, different bosses you can fight, things like that. Let me know what you think about this game in the comments section. I'm going to keep trying this out. Have you tried this game before? If sun sets, let me know in the comments. And thanks for watching.